Will and Harper 2024. Wow, this is a documentary. I heard about it fairly recently, a few weeks ago. Someone on Threads mentioning it was a really good film. So I had my opportunity to see it last night. And it is, as the trailer suggests, a real testament to friendship. Now, I saw it with a friend I've known for almost 35 years, a friend of mine who came along to Trans Pride last July. That's really touching. We had a wonderful time. I went to the main Pride. I saw it from a distance, from a balcony. They're a couple of my favourite memories of 2024 when I look back on it. So, seeing this film last night with a friend was lovely. It's the story of Will Ferrell, who bills himself at the start of this film as one of the greatest actors in the world. Who am I to question that? Perhaps he is. I've seen him in so many great films. So there's him. And then there's a long-standing friend of his who got in touch by email after a gap of, I think it was 10 years. This friend got in touch and explained that she was transitioning. She no longer have the same name as the person who Will knew when they worked together in Saturday Night Live in the 90s. She has been embarking on a transition. That's what this documentary is about. Since Harper loves America, but she wasn't sure if America loved her back, Will suggested they go on a road trip across the USA from New York City to Los Angeles. Wow, what a ride it is. Will flies over and meets Harper at the bus stop outside the golf course. I don't know why that is. It's on the side of a dual carriageway or boulevard. Now, Will hasn't met Harper for many years, but straight away they've still got that friendship vibe still going from the start, and they drive into New York and visit a couple places. They have breakfast at a diner. One of the things, of course, New York is fairly tolerant. It's like Los Angeles, California. It's like London. It's the middle part of America where the scary part of this journey is going to be. Back in 2005, I wanted to cross America on a road trip with a friend who was quite keen to drive, who wanted to go to New Orleans, wanted to go through so many states where there was a musical history because his friend's into music. But in August 2005, that was the time that Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans. Wow, could have been really frightening. We just flew to Los Angeles and we stayed in California, went up to San Francisco, Mount Shasta. Got to know California really well on that holiday, and I'd really like to make some videos out of the clips I've got from that time. But going back to this trip, going west out of New York, they phone up their good friend Kristen Wiig. They ask her if she would write a song for them, a nice, touching, poignant song, and then they leave her alone to get on with it for a couple of days. And they visit various places. They drive through Washington, D.C., Beech Grove, Indiana, Peoria, Illinois, Iowa City, Iowa, Meeker, Oklahoma, Amarillo, Texas, Albuquerque, New Mexico, the Grand Canyon National Park, Las Vegas, Trona, California, and Los Angeles, California. And they get to Beech Grove, Indianapolis. That's one of the first stops where there's a significant problem because Will introduces himself and talks about Harper, but mentions that she's transitioning. And he tells the Indianapolis state governor, Harper, finds out he's introduced a whole raft of anti-trans bills. And then there's a list of the governors of various states. Plenty of intolerant anti-trans bills have been introduced, and one is quoted as saying that eliminate transgender people from public life. And that comes up a bit later on, I think, in that Harper mentions buying a house in a very small town in the deserts in California, in the Mojave. She bought this house so that she could wander around it as she wanted to be as a woman and not be troubled. And the house gets vandalized and it's been abandoned, and it's tragic. Harper at least came to a realization that she needed to come out and be a public person. All of us are public people, everyone. We are not in the closet. None of us in the queer community, in the whole LGBTQIA plus community, should be forced into the closet, as happened for such a long time. 1967 in this country, and even after that there was only a partial decriminalisation. Gay people still got harassed in the 70s, in the 80s. LGBT people were not welcome in so many places and received so much abuse, and that is how it seems various politicians want to be reintroduced. They want LGBTQIA plus people to vanish from society, and we will not. As simple as that. Now, this is such a touching performance, so bittersweet and tragic at times. In Iowa, Will and Harper, they stay overnight at Harper's sister's, that's Harper's old town, and then they stop off at this first American settlement, this pub or bar. It turns out the people are this, and they are welcoming, they're not abusive. They're very welcoming of Harper. However, then they go down to Texas. They think about eating this massive joint, about 72 ounces. They get it free if they eat it. Awful. I don't like food like that anyway, but people putting themselves into that sort of meat sweat state, no way. Well, Will is dressed up like Sherlock Holmes. However, the worst thing is, it seems like the whole bar stroke restaurant have their cell phones out and they're all trained on Will and Harper and they're filming. They knew there was an atmosphere. The next day they're talking about it and they check social media, and this is where Will gets more upset than Harper. Harper's probably quite used to it. She's probably received so much abuse. Still hurts that it's almost water off a duck's back, but you can deal with it. However, it's horrible. All these awful comments, all this vitriol. I mean, now social media is being opened up to more hate. Meta is dispensing with DEI and relaxing a lot of their rules. There's going to be a lot more of this sort of stuff. The bonding or rebonding between Will and Harper is beautiful to watch. It's a lovely film. There's a lot of open-hearted sharing, and it shows how good friends can reconnect after many years apart, and even after some drastic changes, because Will has a heart of gold. January is such a difficult month. It's certainly worse this year. I mean, today is Inauguration Day in the USA. In a short while, number 47 is being inaugurated and takes over as president. And I'm avoiding that. I'm going to be doing other stuff. But January is often a difficult month. It's overcast so often. It's really a tough month. And this time last year, 27th January, I saw All of Us Strangers, which is still absolutely up there, top film from 2024. I think this will be a top film from 2025. I loved it. It really explains things so well. I'm going to score this 9 out of 10. I'd love to know what you think. Any constructive criticism, leave them in the comments. I hope to see you again soon. Please like if you like this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks if you do subscribe. Bye for now. Will and Grace. Started off wrong there.